We are back filming and today is Friday. This is actually going to go out on Saturday. And Friday is definitely my favourite day of the week. I always feel the most relaxed on a Friday. I think I'm definitely a weekend person. I love it when the weekend comes along. I don't know why, because a lot of the time I'm still doing similar things to what I do in the week, but I think because my girlfriend's off as well and we get to spend some time together, that kind of thing, it's good in that respect. So yeah, I do love a good Friday. I'm feeling slightly woolly today and didn't really sleep very well last night. Maybe because me and my girlfriend went for a few drinks, but one really positive thing that we have been doing is cutting down the size of the drinks that we're drinking when we're going out. So we like to go to the pub and have a few beers. Sometimes it gets a little bit out of control, but that's just the way it is sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, we started drinking half pints instead of pints. We've been trying to slow down the pace of drinking and drink halves. It's actually more relaxing in a way. It's cheaper, I get less hangovers and get to try more beers as well. I like trying craft beers and things like that. So it's been good for that. Do you guys like having a drink? I know these days it's kind of a topic that has a lot of division. I feel like a lot of people are really kind of against it these days and don't really like drinking that much compared to maybe 10, 20 years ago. I personally really like having a drink and I don't see any problem with it as long as it's controlled, obviously. But yeah, do you guys like having a drink? And if so, do you have a favourite beer? I try a lot of different beers, so I'm struggling to think of one that I really like at the moment, but there's a local brewery that makes a beer called Aspirational Kickflip, and kind of cool because I'm into skateboarding as well, but that's a really good pint, or half pint if you're being good. So yeah, that's what I've been enjoying. If you're into beers, leave a comment and let me know which one's your favourite. Anyway, today I'm going to be on the MPC 2500, one of my favourite machines. I'm going to show you what I've been up to with that this week and what I've got working. And I've actually got a beat that I managed to make this week as well, so I'm going to show you that. So stick around for all that, and we'll go ahead and get to the machine now. So some good news about the MPC 2500. As you can see here, I've got it switched on and it seems to be kind of working. I say kind of because I'm still having problems with the tack switches, and I think ultimately those tack switches are going to have to get replaced at some point in the near future. So a few people on this channel and on MPC vids as well have said you can fix tack switches, but it's usually only temporary. They're usually on the way out. So yeah, I am going to get a soldering iron and I'm going to do open heart surgery on this bad boy and get it fully working, because it's kind of even more frustrating now that it nearly fully works, because I can feel how good this thing is again, but there's just a few buttons which still don't quite work, so it's a little bit frustrating. But yeah, this contact cleaner that I used, some people in the comments have said that they've had success with it. I didn't have a great deal of success with this. I found that flicking the tack switches did the most good, and I literally mean by that the switches that are underneath these buttons, you just give them a good flick like that and that seems to loosen them up and bring them back to life again. But yeah, main doesn't work properly really that well. So if we're in 16 levels here, if I press main, I have to kind of smash that really hard to get it to work. And these navigation buttons aren't great either. I managed to sort of fix the cursors, so moving around the screen, yeah, the down one's still a bit sticky, but they're kind of working, which is good. I fixed the jog wheel. That was just a case of mounting it properly because it wasn't fully sat on the wheel underneath. So what it was is it was quite high up, and then when I was putting the case back on, it was kind of catching on the case. The case was pressing down on it and stopping it from turning. So yeah, basically I made sure it was completely sat down on the component underneath, and now you can see that's working a charm, so that's really good. So I have fixed some things and I can actually use it now, but it's still frustrating. So yeah, soldering iron's gonna have to get ordered and I'm gonna have to do some serious surgery on this. Not sure when I'll do that now because it's kind of working, but we'll see. I've actually got a beat on here which I wanted to show you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and load this up. Where the hell is it? Projects, here we go. I've made a folder called projects. Pain, I don't know why I called it pain. Probably the pain of using these buttons at the moment. I'm going to run this signal through the SP. It's really weird at the moment. I'm not really using my SP, and that's because I've been on this a lot, trying to fix it and just playing around with it. And I've also been really enjoying working with the poly-N tracker. I'm actually going to do a separate video about that next because I'm having so much fun with that thing. It's really good. But yeah, I'll get onto that in another video. So is this loaded now? Let's go to main. So yeah, I can actually go into song mode, and you know what? This machine, it's one of my faves. It's absolutely amazing, and the workflow of it just makes me not care about MPC3 at all, to be honest. So I've gone ahead and put some sequences in song mode, and yeah, we can go ahead and give this a try. Oh, let me know what you think of that, guys. I was so stoked when I made that beat on this machine, and I knew I was going to make good beats when I got this thing going again. I know it's not really renowned for its sound, but the MPC 2500 I think sounds good. It sounds like kind of thick, and that did have the compressors on the Mark II. I do a double compressor on bus 3 and 4, so that obviously really helps as well. But I do think it's got a nice kind of warm sound to it. Nothing too crazy, obviously nothing like the MPC 60s or anything like that. I just love this machine. Why do you need MPC3? I made that beat on this with song mode. You don't need all these arrangement views and all this kind of stuff. Just my opinion anyway. That's probably going to annoy some people in the comments. I'm sure I'll get some comments about it. I did say in my reaction to the MPC3 stuff that the legacy workflow has lasted all the way up until this year. And there's good reason for that, is because it just works. So yeah, right now, MPC3 to me, I just really do not care about it. My opinion may change when it comes out, whenever that's going to be, who knows, because that's a big mystery as well. But I can cook up that on the 2500, you know, an old piece of gear like this, run it through the SP, what a combo as well, the SP with the MPCs. I just don't understand why people are so desperate for all the bells and whistles, because you don't really need them, especially for boom bap and like hip hop. If I can do the basics of what you need for beat making, I am more than happy. And you know, hopefully that beat sounds good to you guys. I thought that sounds really nice, and that's just me messing around trying to see if everything works. So yeah, my potential with this machine is huge. I think once I can get it fully working, I can't wait to just be making beat after beat on this thing. So I made a few kind of off the cuff, vaguely controversial comments about MPC3 in that segment, so I wanted to talk about that in a bit more detail. I think since getting the 2500 up and running again, it's confirmed a couple of things to me. Number one is that I'm definitely a legacy MPC head. I much prefer the older machines. I would say I've had more fun on the 2500 this week than I have in the entire time of owning a Live 2. Now the Live 2 is a really, really capable machine, don't get me wrong, but there's a certain amount of soul lacking in that device, I think. This is obviously personal opinion. There's just something about jumping on the 2500. It's the ASMR of the buttons, the pads, the way the pads feel, the workflow, just being on like an older piece of gear, but being able to produce such good results like that. It's just so damn good, and I love it. I love being in front of that machine, and it just brings me a lot of joy when I'm on it. So I've definitely realised that the legacy MPC stuff, and particularly the 2500, is definitely my jam. And it's also kind of made me realise that I've lost a lot of interest in MPC3 and sort of the future of where Akai is taking the MPC as a beat making machine. I feel like that's just like a completely separate world that's going on, and I'm sort of now positioning myself in this other world where I'm just like, no, I'm just going to carry on using the legacy machines. Now don't get me wrong, if you are into the modern technology, the modern machines and the updates, I absolutely understand why. I think all the updates that come out are really exciting and they just seem so crazy, and it looks like it's just going to make beat making so easy. But like I've shown today, for me, I made that beat which I was happy with a half working machine. So to think of that machine being fully functional, that's just like it's just blowing my mind. It's like a dream to me. I can't wait. So I'm definitely going to get that soldering iron ordered and try and fix that thing up to be absolutely mint. I'm much more excited about that happening than the release of MPC3. We also don't really know what the hell is going on with the release of MPC3, and I really don't like the way we've just been kind of left in the dark. We've got all the influencers on YouTube that are kind of posting about it and showing us the features, but when are we going to get this beta? I don't know. I think that's kind of killed my enthusiasm for it a little bit as well, so it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that as well. Were you originally excited about MPC3? Are you still excited now, or has the hype kind of worn off a little bit? I'm gonna feel perfectly happy just carrying on working with my legacy machine. I've got the 2000 XL as well. I need to get that out and have another session with that. I haven't used that for a long time. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm finding that I'm having much more joy on the older machines than I ever have with the Live 2. And the updates now just kind of feel to me like something completely different going on in a different community. And yeah, just to round off, it's Friday, like I mentioned earlier, so very happy, feeling very good today. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all in another one very, very soon.